Yeah, good morning. I'm Andrew Heath, Director of the Fresh Living Group, and I'm here today with Jeff Collins, who's the National Sales Manager for Real Flame Gas Fires. And we're talking about the Heatseeker range and how flexible this one is in terms of what you can do with it and how many different ways you can trick it up. Morning.
Thanks, Andrew. The Heatseeker range is probably the flagship range for Real Flame. It shows a lot of diversity both in size and finish. You can do a simple thing as we have done here with the Heatseeker 850. This is shown with a classic, what I call the classic fireplace look, a mantelpiece, a nice marble margin set and margin half. This particular one has a deco front, but you can have up to 4 different fronts on this fire in different finishes to give it a different look. Lock and coal ceramic set, but also available in pebbles. This fire, although it's open fronted, so primarily a decorative appliance, it does have a proper heat exchanger, so it can heat up to about 45 square metres depending on how well insulated the space is. So if that's not the cup of tea, it's not going to fit into your environment. If you pan across to the next fire here, once again this is a Heatseeker fire, dressed totally differently, as you can see, a lot more contemporary. This one has a 4-sided stainless steel trim, a stainless steel pedestal and black base, and it's set up with pebble ceramics rather than logs and coals. Once again, this can still heat up to about 45 square metres, even though it's an open fronted fire, and does come with an optional 2-speed fan, as does all the Heatseekers. The fan is optional, you don't have to have it running, but if the room is a little bit larger, you can boost the heat with a high setting or a low setting.
Okay, Jeff, and so when you say sort of open front fires, these have got some ventilation requirements, haven't they?
Exactly right, yes. Any open fronted fire in Australia must have ventilation in the room. It's not large ventilation. Typically you can look at, show the people that. That's a sort of ventilation grill we'd normally put into a room. It can either be sat around the wall, for argument's sake, on the side. You can use ceiling diffusers to match your air conditioning vents that are just capped and pulling ventilation from the roof. Or if you've got ducted heating in the floor, you can put in another register or 2 in the floor depending on the size of the fire, and that will bring enough ventilation in. All of these fires do have what we call oxygen depletion safeties, so if the ventilation gets blocked for some reason, or the client doesn't put it in or blocks it afterwards, these fires won't operate if the oxygen levels drops below 18 parts, which obviously is a good safety feature. These fires can also be manufactured and installed into brand new homes or existing homes that don't have masonry fireplaces, or they can be put into a masonry fireplace if it's working. The team at Fresh Living can do that full installation for you. Typically you can build a chimney breast similar to what you're looking at here, or you can build something a bit more intricate if you want to make a special feature of the room.
And if you've got sort of a traditional sort of home, there's options for that as well.
Exactly, Andrew. So if we go across to these two, once again, these are still Heatseekers. This one's in a typical Edwardian square arch fascia. The one that Andrew's standing next to there is your Victorian arch fascia. Once again, Heatseeker, open fronted, heating up to 45 square metres. So there you've got a range of 4 different sizes, a 600, a 700, an 850 and a 1 metre. All of those fires heating around up to 45 square metres.
All right, thank you.
All right, cheers. Okay.